It's been a minute since we've talked about the Bloodline on my YouTube channel, and I feel like now is the perfect time to step back into the spotlight on the family that is slowly deteriorating and crumbling to oblivion in front of our eyes on WWE television. Based off the fact that tomorrow is Night of Champions, and it won't be the Usos trying to take the tag team titles from former Bloodline member and honorary Uso and Sami Zayn alongside his partner in Kevin Owens. However, it will be the Tribal Chief and the WWE Universal Champion in Roman Reigns teaming up with the Enforcer in Solo Sikoa to try to take the titles and add all the gold back to the Bloodline. However, the last time we touched on this topic was before WrestleMania 39, before Roman Reigns was all but set in stone to lose the WWE Universal Championship to the winner of the 2023 Royal Rumble and the #1 contender in the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Rhodes and Reigns would put on a hell of a match to cap off Night 2 of WrestleMania 39. A match with many ebbs and flows, a match with many ups and downs. However, it would be shattered dreams for the American Nightmare, as the Enforcer would once again ensure a title defense and a victory for the Tribal Chief and the head of the table, just approaching 1,000 days as the Universal Champion in Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa was the man introduced at Clash of the Castle in Cardiff, where it was all but set in stone that Roman Reigns was going to lose the Universal Championship to Drew McIntyre. However, although it got as close as it possibly could, the introduction and main roster debut of the Enforcer in Solo Sikoa ensured a title defense for Roman Reigns. Now, at WrestleMania 39, where it was all but set in stone that Roman Reigns was going to lose the championships to former WWE superstar turned AEW megastar, on the brink of his first world title win after a return to WWE at WrestleMania 38, Solo Sikoa would ensure that Roman Reigns remained the Universal Champion. Although there was a chorus of boos, although there was a spew of negativity all around the WWE universe, and hatred was at an all-time high for the narcissistic, egotistical Tribal Chief and mega heel known as Roman Reigns, he still remains the top of the WWE food chain. And although we have the reintroduction of the World Heavyweight Championship in a match between Styles and Rollins showcased at Night of Champions tomorrow night, that is basically a secondary consolation prize to what is the main championship in the WWE, the main villain, the main boss fight throughout the WWE, and the main boss fight to get to the top of the mountain in Roman Reigns. And that is where all eyes are set currently. It looks as if Solo Sikoa has been the man holding together the Bloodline. Even though he is stoic, even though he is a man of very few words, he seems to be the Batista to Triple H back in 2004 and 2005. Or should I say, he is to Roman Reigns what Batista was to Triple H. A man of very few words, but a man of heavy violence and action. And that is why he is known as the Enforcer. Eerily similar to the way that Triple H would hold Batista by his side and make him the powerhouse and strongman of the Evolution faction, is how Roman Reigns keeps Solo Sikoa around as the Enforcer of the Bloodline, however does not cross paths or seem to want to anger the man known as Solo. And in going back to WrestleMania 39, although Roman Reigns would be successful and claim another successful title defense along with the help of Solo Sikoa, the Usos would not be so lucky, as on night 1 of WrestleMania 39, they would lose the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And although Kevin Owens has been alongside Sami Zayn throughout most of the storyline, even when he was the honorary Uso, this is still about Jey. This is about Jey Uso, but it's becoming more about Jimmy. And it all started, or I guess fostered into the limelight, when the Usos lost the Tag Team Championships to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And you may want to look back and think that what would it have been like if Cody Rhodes had defeated Roman Reigns and become the new Universal Champion, killing off the aspirations of a 1,000-day title run, and it was the Usos who retained against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Imagine what it would be like if Roman Reigns had to be looked down upon by the men who he had manipulated and abused throughout the entirety of the Bloodline storyline. The Blood Brothers fermented in fear by their abusive, manipulative, narcissistic leader. What would it have been like if the tables had turned and the power had moved to the brotherly love in the Usos and fostered away and shifted away, I should say, from the Tribal Chief. Something to look back on, but something that we mustn't spend too much time on, as that's not what had happened. The Usos would lose the titles and be looked down upon by their leader, be showcased in disappointment, be showcased in failure, and really be shown to bring out the true colors of what the Tribal Chief has always been about. Himself, his title run, his dominance, and his overall image throughout the WWE Universe as the top of the mountain, and the man who sits on top of the mountain with the finger in the air, being the one who always gets it done. And I'm not talking about AJ Styles. And going into WrestleMania Backlash, the Bloodline would defeat Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle, so they did get a victory there. But in their aspirations to get the tag team titles back, the Usos would not be successful. And that has led us into Night of Champions, where the Tribal Chief is looking to set an example and to lead by example in being the leader of the Bloodline, and align with Solo Sikoa to become the new undisputed tag team champions and get all the gold back atop the table. However, the question is, what is the Tribal Chief's head like? Where is his head at? Because on the May 26th episode of SmackDown tonight, it wouldn't be Roman Reigns who claimed himself as the head of the table. It would be Paul Heyman looking on in fear, as not Jay, but Jimmy Uso would claim that he is the head of the table, and he is the one, which would lead Roman Reigns to come out and look in disgust at Jimmy and Jay. However, I think this is more of Roman Reigns feeling that the end is near. The end is near for the Bloodline, and Sami Zayn was right all along. The master plan of Zayn is coming together as the entire family is falling apart, and Reigns can feel his dominance and seat atop the mountain slipping through his fingertips, as the continuation of the distress, manipulation, and destruction of the Bloodline seeps through the cracks in the family until the entire family is up in smoke. I feel as if we all know that Roman and Solo will not be walking out as the tag team champions, but the question is, will it be Solo turning on Roman and aligning alongside his brothers and really making the entire family fall apart? Or will it be Jimmy and Jay costing Solo and Roman the titles, but doing so, quote-unquote, on accident, and still seeming as if they are alongside the Tribal Chief? I feel like Solo Sikoa is destined to be on his own. And although I think it would be smart for Solo to be the one to take out Roman, due to the fact that he has that fear and it has that Triple H and Batista vibe to it, I still believe it's going to be Jay and possibly Jimmy together who will take out Roman Reigns completely. With Jimmy claiming that he is the one, that he is the Tribal Chief, it shows that the manipulation and hold underneath his fingertips that Roman has on the Usos is falling apart. That the control and manipulation is getting untangled and unwound while the tables turn on the Tribal Chief. I believe that when it is all said and done, even though we may be far off from it, it's going to be Jey Uso aligning with Jimmy to give Roman Reigns the comeuppance that he's deserved for over 1,000 days as the Universal Champion. It's going to be the brothers stepping away from the family and creating a bond set in stone and crumbling the narcissistic ego of Roman Reigns all in one. When the entire bloodline falls apart, it should be when Roman Reigns loses his grip on the gold and loses his spot atop the top of WWE. Everything should fall apart in a crescendo of destruction, violence, sadness, and revenge all in one. When Roman Reigns loses the gold, he also will lose the hold on the brothers in the Usos and Solo Sikoa, and he will be left as a man who once had it all, as a man who once had everything that any man could ever want, a man who had all the power, being left on his own with nothing and no one to blame but himself. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.